have
Right.
different people use it for different things. We have business intelligence, we have data analytics, we have data science, and a lot of things have been combined together. So somebody can say, I'm a data analyst, all right? It could be that the person just use Excel or Tableau to analyze some data, right? It could be that the person is a data scientist,
right,
which is like more into mathematics and then creating models to predict the future and those kind of stuff. So my role, depending on where I am, right, I could be on a data science side, where I work on some models. I could be on the ETL side, where I combine data from multiple sources into a data warehouse, right? I could be report development side, where I make sense of the data so that the manager or the business owner can see, okay, this is what is going on, so that they can make better decisions. So my role is, I do a lot of things, yeah. So
you're all trades, whatever you're needed, basically.
So maybe I can go into details, but my role is like, sometimes, like most of the time, one thing about data science is it is not like the old software engineer where you'll be on your desk and somebody will go and collect the requirement for you. You have to go and talk to the managers, sometimes the VPs, get a requirement, talk to them. So you have to be able to understand the business. You have to be able to talk to be able to express your view. Sometimes you have to disagree that, okay, I don't think this is right. Let's do it this way. Those kind of stuff. So my role is like from end to end. I talk to customers, I talk to managers, I develop, I explain, I make recommendation on what to be done to be able to achieve A or B.
Okay. So we love that you're going into that. I think you gave a high level overview of what it is, and I love it. I think that's great. Now let's ask some nitty gritty questions, just so we can break down some of these things. We're going to talk about, in general, what you've done with data analytics, and then we're going to talk about your business, where and so forth. Let's start from where what are the requirements? I guess we know people have to go to school for these things, right? And I didn't even mention your degree. So if you can elaborate on that for us, what are the requirements that you need to achieve in order to be considered a data analyst? And then, what kind of courses did you take? Just
Okay. So as I said, I started off as a software engineer, right? So that is it made my life easier, right? I took programming classes in school, right? I taught some of the programming classes, but I'll talk about later. I took some object-oriented programming like Java in school. I took C++. I took SQL, right? And then I took some data structure and algorithm, right? Because one thing about software is it is not only about the coding. Everybody know how to code, right? But you can go to Google.
I don't know how to code.
Yeah, actually, you can go to Google and copy the code, right? But the challenge is you have to understand. Okay, they ask you do this. You have to understand it and then interpret it into a logic, right? So that you can write it. So the most challenging part is understanding and converting like English language to a logic and write it to be able to achieve the purpose. So you have to take some classes in programming, right? Classes in algorithm and data structure. You have to do SQL is a lot because everything is based on SQL. Structured query language, SQL. And then you don't have to forget your English, the normal. Some people say, oh, if you are a software engineer, you don't care about English, you care about presentation. Presentation is a lot because you have to talk to people, you have to convince them to take your recommendation. You have to disagree with them and tell that what you think is wrong, let's do this way. That is English, right? You have to be able to write a report, right? So all those, it takes a lot of stuff. It's not only about the technical side, but the soft skill side, like the English part, report writing, presentations, you have to all around, right? That is if you are going to school for it. But assuming that you are done with school, you want to change your career, then there are some courses that you can take. First one, you can take like a course in SQL. You can actually go online, YouTube, learn how to program in SQL, right? For free. And then maybe you can take some classes or something in R, some scripting language like R or SAS, or like Python or anything like that. So let me end here. Maybe you can ask like a follow-up question.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So I like that you were able to break down the soft skills and the technical aspects of the actual position, because I think people forget. People think that it's technical, right?
No,
so I guess from my experience in recruiting, a lot of times when we know someone has information systems degree or something related to data analysts, we don't focus a lot of the questions around what they know about the technical skills. We focus more on the soft skills.
Yeah, that is easy.
Because we feel like that is an area that people struggle with. My question for you is, what do you see in the future for information or data analysts? What do you think the future holds for people in that career?
Okay, when you look at the trend, right?
Right.
Okay. The trend is people, or let me say, businesses have a lot of data, right? Businesses are collecting data from customers, from their product, from everywhere, right? Why do they collect the data? Because they want to understand their businesses. They want to understand their customers. They want to understand their product, right? So if they collect all this data, that means they need somebody that can combine this quadrillion of data into something, into a finished product that could be used to help the business to grow. So I see this field as growing. I don't know what will happen, but I see this field as growing, right? That's why you don't have to restrict yourself to maybe, somebody will go and take some class in Tableau and so I come and say data analysis. No, everybody can do Tableau, but you have to know you have to know how to do some coding. You have to do some database development. You have to know some aspect of ETL, data cleansing, like customer service, all those. So I know this field is gonna grow, but you have to be like all around, because this is not like only programming only. It's a lot of stuff, but like combined. Yes.
I see. Okay, that's a good point. Do you also find that in the work environment? Because I know, from looking at your resume, you have worked in different places. Do you find that this is a career that is more team oriented, or it's mostly individual? You have to be, you have to have the ability to work independently.
This is combination of both, but it is more 75 team, right? And 25 individual. Why do I say that? It's a team because whenever you go to a place, like assuming that maybe even if you're not a consultant and you in your company, right? Maybe a VP of director of maybe one department can come and tell you that, I want to understand this part of my business, right? What it means is that you have to talk to other people in the department. It's not like they give you something, you go and sit at your desk, do it and come back. No. You have to have like a lot of meetings with other people in the department. There are people who understand the business more than you, right?
That's true.
They have to tell you what exactly they want you to do, and then you have to ask them good questions to understand, right? So it's more like a teamwork, a team environment. When you finish, you have to tell them, this is what I think you need. What do you think? They say, oh, no, you want this, but change this, right? So it's a back and forth kind of way, right?
Okay. So let's talk about your business. When was it founded, and what was the idea behind it? I guess we're excited we love talking to entrepreneurs. How did this get developed?
Okay, I started my business somewhere in 2013. I used to travel a lot, right? I used to travel a lot because I spend most of my time at the airport. I'll be at the airport Monday morning, right? Come back on Friday evening, right? Like every day, it's like every week like that. So I decided to start something, right? So I started off like a IT technical support. So I was helping some businesses in Ohio. At that time, I was in Ohio, so help them with IT stuff, computer installation, network, those kind of stuff, right? And then I started that, but then I decided to add data analytics to it. But then I saw that most of my clients, the people that I was trying to target, they didn't understand what data analytics mean.
Right.
Okay. So I stopped because I decided to like stop because I wasn't making a lot of headway. Right?
Okay.
So I stopped it and then change my business, like move away from the IT stuff.
Okay.
And then focus on data analytics and stuff. So because of that, I actually went back to school to get an MBA. Right.
Okay.
MBA in data analytics. Yeah, thank you. So after graduation in 2017, okay. I registered a business again. Right. Okay. I changed the old name to a new name and then rebranded in 2017. Sure. Okay. Right now, yes, I'm in the process of building it up because before I thought it was easier, but I thought it is difficult because, like I have an MBA, so I think I know the business side. Right. And then I know the technical side. So the challenge is I'm trying to do everything by myself, and that is the worst thing you can do. Yes. Yeah. So now that I'm trying to outsource some of the project to other people, so that I can focus on my own strength. Okay. So far, this is the history of my business. Maybe you can ask me specific questions and stuff, then I can answer. Yeah. So, you told us the reasoning, how you came about. I guess, what would you say your target audience? I mean, in terms of your clients, who are they? Are they in the healthcare? Are they in finance? Are they in retail? Are they in US? Tell us a little bit about your... Okay, my potential customers are like small businesses in every field, right? Okay. And then I also make one adjustment. Before, I was building like a medical application, right? Okay. EMR application to help, because I have a small clinic in Ghana. I started in my village, right? So I was trying to see if there's a way I can help to make some changes in the healthcare delivery and data, so that, for example, in Ghana, when I went there, I said, okay, when somebody go to a hospital, there's only paperwork, right? When you leave and you go again, you have to start over. There's no history of you there. So I was saying, okay, where can I get a way to, so that, okay, when you go in, everything is electronic, so they can get your history, and then they can refer that, okay, you came here with a headache, they gave you paracetamol, what happened to you? Are you feeling better? Maybe you have to change the medicine, that kind of history. So I was working on that. So after talking to some people in Ghana, I decided to focus on healthcare and data analytics, right? So that is the focus now. So some of my customers are going to be here and some are in Ghana. But the Ghana one is going to be EMR of healthcare and data analytics, and the US is going to be data analytics only. That's a good point. Very good point. So what do you enjoy most about building this business? And what are some of the frustrations that, I think you hinted a little bit, but if you can elaborate, some of the frustrations of being a small business owner too? Some of the frustrations are let me see, talking to people and, we like your idea about this, and then, right? Oh, we like your idea. I was talking to a doctor in Ghana. I explained that this is what it is. The guy was happy, and then he connected me to the IT person, and the guy wanted some kickback or something. I said, yeah, look at this kind of stuff. It's annoying. I know. Yeah. So, but it is interesting. It is interesting. Yeah. And then sometimes I try to do everything, and then jack of all trade, specialized in none, and I was like, yeah, it's kind of interesting. Yeah. Okay. So you also mentioned something that was very curious to me. You said, your role entailed working with people in the businesses and making recommendations. I guess, how do you add value? How do you know that your job is actually adding value to the company? Okay, what I know is, for example, let me give you one example of my previous, before I moved to, I was in this insurance company, right? Sometime they were running some kind of promotions, some kind of, let's say, promotion discount, right? And then they were targeting a lot of people, so they wanted to understand, okay, what is the effect of this promotion on our? There's something they call is new business, right? When insurance write a new premium, not the old one, right? So they want to understand what is the effect on this? Have you gotten more people after running this promotion, right? Right. So you have to get the data and go through and understand, like, okay, before this we got it. So later we found that it was not really good.
Okay.
Promotion didn't do a lot of stuff, right? So they have to change it. Okay, because yeah. And I've done this multiple times. Sometimes, like, I work on a project for a business in Michigan, Grand Rapids, right? They are food distribution companies. They have multiple stores all over the world, over the country. They have a lot of promotion around. So they wanted to see, like, what is going on? Are we getting more customers from this? Sometimes what you think, sometimes you may think, oh, I run this promotion, people bought this much. But when you go into data and say, no, actually you are losing, right? So you have to change, you have to change value. So that's what data is more important. A decision, if you make a decision with data, you are more likely to get it right than to just guess. Because data is always right.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So, going along with that.
Yeah.
You talked about one job that you were doing for the financial industry. So I'm curious to find out, have you been in a project where your information was driven by the revenue, like something you provided to the CEO, or maybe something you provided to the CFO, or maybe a team that it helped drive revenue or reduce costs or such?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because these are the reason why we do data analytics or business intelligence or data science, right? To reduce costs, right? To reduce time of service, increase revenue, profitability, maybe those kind of stuff. So, yeah, I've done it multiple times, right? Where I had to automate some processes. For example, I've done it multiple times. I'm gonna give a generic example. But I went to a place, right? They had a lot of reports in Excel and some other application. Somebody every day or every week, somebody had to go in, compile report data from multiple sources. They spend about 4 hours on it, combine it, and send it out, right? So all that I have to do is just automate the whole process, remove everything, and make it simpler, right? So nobody has to touch it, right? To just send it out. Maybe a department head want to see how many premium has been written over this past month. Everything is there, so they can see that, okay, this is how many premium has been written by this employee or this employee. So the bonuses, right? The bonuses and everything is gonna be based on that, how many premium has been written, right? There's analysis where I do analysis on loss ratio, right? This is technical, like loss ratio, like how much are you losing? I'm an insurance company, right? I've written like a premium for you, right? You get some losses, right? So I have to divide my, I'm not gonna go into that. But they want to see that, okay, you are paying premium to me, right? Your house burned, right? Maybe not California, there was this natural disaster, right? So they want to see how much am I losing as an insurance company, right? Over this. So that's a loss ratio, like, yeah, it's a ratio that you have to calculate. What's the loss ratio for this type of customers? So then you can decide.
So I'm sorry to cut you off, but when I have an idea in my head, I just have to get it out.
I can say it, yeah.
So my question for you, what equations, were you creating your own equations, or is there something that's like fundamentally a standard that you use?
It's a business. Sometimes they may not have like a standard. Sometimes you go to a place, when I was a consultant, right? You go to a place, everything, they are starting everything. So you have to help them to have some kind of business rules in place, right? So maybe how do I calculate my profit? For example, how do I calculate my profit? Everybody knows profit is, I'm using this as an example. Profit is what? Price minus cost, right? Those kind of business rules, right? They have business rules in place. If I want profit, I subtract my cost from the revenue and get my profit. Maybe I want to calculate loss. Those kind of business rules. That's why you have to understand the business. That's why you have to work with people who understand the business to give you those metrics, those rules, so that you can work on those. Without that, you're not gonna do anything.
So it sounds like you use different metrics for different types of problems that you're trying to solve.
Oh, yeah.
Correct. Okay, got it. Okay. So how has the COVID-19 affected your business or your industry specifically? And how are you overcoming or new ways to survive?
Okay, yeah, for my business, right, I moved to Atlanta in, I think, August, right?
Right.
The reason why I moved here is this is a nice place to be for a small business of mine all the time, because the weather is good all year round. You are active all year round. There are a lot of support here, right? So my plan in this time was to just network, go to a lot of events, network. So I couldn't do everything. So, right now I'm stuck in the house. That one is off the table now.
Right, the networking.
That is the major effect, because I was supposed to meet a lot of people and get help with some of the things that I said earlier, that I'm trying to outsource some of my the business management part to some people and focus on the technical side. But now everything is stuck. But in terms of my side job, there's no effect because I work from home. I can work anywhere. So the only thing is I work a lot because I'm in the house. So I get bored and I go and sit in front of the computer and do some stuff. So
that's something that's good about your job. You don't have to go out there and face corona.
Yeah, that's one thing. Yeah,
that's true. True. So you mentioned outsourcing. I think that's very interesting. If you're trying to outsource some of your business to people, do you outsource in U.S. or outside of U.S.? And how do you find the best people to outsource?
Okay. For example, the hospital application that I'm working on.
Okay.
Right. I have some guys in India, about 2 guys that are helping me to do it.
Okay.
I found them from the forum, right?
Okay.
And I saw that their charges are very low, kind of lower.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. Because I am not developing from scratch. We have some open source software out there that we are customizing specifically for Ghana system. So that is example. And sometime I met some people from word of mouth, from friend to friends and stuff. Yeah. And then I met people from LinkedIn too. Yeah. I met this lady.
Got it.
And LinkedIn, yeah. And then LinkedIn has this nice feature. It's like professional something. Oh. You can actually connect with people like a mentor, and then they will mentor you for free. I've forgotten the name. They call it something. I've forgotten the name, but
yeah. I know what you're talking about. It's the career advice or
career advice, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I met some nice guys there.
That's a really good point. People don't know about that. It's a way to reach out to people in your industry and stuff.
Yeah, you can. Every industry, you can get people. And then there's this this organization called SCORE, right?
Okay.
I get a lot of help from them too. They are like retired CEOs and senior managers, so they provide help for you for free. So I have my mentor. I have 2 mentors actually in Atlanta, so I go to them for help.
Oh wow! That's fantastic.
When you go to score.org, yeah, you can get a mentor for free, and then they also organize like a workshop for free that you can go. So I get some help from them too.
So I have a ton of people asking me to ask you. They want to learn how to code. So what is the process? Do you teach people how to code, and what are like the classes like? And can you give them more information about that?
Okay, yeah, actually, as part of my business, I am adding like a software training to it. Yeah, so you're gonna be data analytics, software training, and EMR, hospital consultant, right? So, but I'm going to focus on SQL, ETL, and data analytics, right?
These are why you want to focus on those areas more?
Because that is the area that are applicable to my business. Okay. Right. So maybe the reason why I want to do that, maybe I can train somebody, right, in specific areas of my business, and maybe help the person. I can give the person an assignment to do, and then get some knowledge, right? Get some experience.
Okay.
And therefore, But if I train you in Java, I may not have anything for you to do apart from maybe the normal project I can give it to do. Right. So I'm going to focus on the areas that are applicable to my business.
I see.
Maybe like SQL, maybe like ETL, like SSI, that's Microsoft SQL integration services, maybe in Tableau, maybe like Power BI, maybe in R or some those kind of stuff.
It makes sense. My question for you, do you feel like the person has to have a strong background in mathematics or even have science related courses, or can anyone learn how to do these things?
Yeah, everybody can learn how to code.
Anyone. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. But if you are going to school to do like a software engineer, you have to learn. Your mathematics need to be good, because I remember in my school, I went to school in New Jersey, right?
Yeah.
We had to take calculus 1, 2, 3, linear algebra, statistics 1, 2, those kind of stuff, right? We have to take that because most of the metrics in data analytics, right, assuming they are based on probabilities and mathematics principles, right? Maybe you are not going to go into like a data scientist, so you may not need to understand those probability theories and others. But if we're going to be a data science, then it is purely mathematics. You have to understand that side. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Well, because you're offering, I would love to sign myself up. You know, I like to learn.
Okay.
I don't know if my math is up to the data scientist level.
No, like the basic BI. That's what I was saying. Like, we have business intelligence, right? That is, in the old, they used to call it business, like report writing, dashboard development. That why you might not even need any, you just drag and drop, right?
Gotcha.
And then we have the pure data side, right? Where you do database development, ETL development. ETL means taking data from multiple sources. For example, we have a company that have data in accounting, HR, manufacturing, all that. They want to understand what is going on. So you have to bring all those data and pull it into a big bucket, right? So that is another process, ETL process. Clean it, take the data, clean it, and dump it, right? And then we have the people who take the data that has been dumped into the data warehouse, right, and make sense out of it. One of those could be the business intelligence developer. Another could be just a normal data science, the normal data analytics. Analysis, it could be Excel, it could be Tableau analysis. And the other person could be data scientist, right? That is, you're going to write like maybe regression models to predict what will happen in the those kind of stuff. So you have different branches of it, right?
Yeah. Okay. So there's this there's this question around millennials these years are kind of developing a lot of apps. I mean, when you go to your phone, there's so many apps.
Yeah.
Everybody is developing apps. Yeah. What are your takes on that? Like, is that something easy to learn and just create an app online? Does it take some effort in learning data analysts or what?
No, because app development is different from data analytics, unless maybe your app has some data analytics behind it, all right?
Okay.
All right. Okay, then, but the app development is more like a website development.
Okay.
But for the mobile phone, right?
Okay.
It's not that difficult. That is not haven't dwelled into that. That is not the area that I haven't dwelled to that. My first attempt at developing an app was like last 2 years.
Okay.
Where I had to learn is it like Swift or something?
Okay.
I know Java, but I didn't know Swift, and I didn't have the time to go and learn that because I wasn't using the app for anything. So I think I was lazy. I didn't delve into that. So that is
Gotcha. But you're saying that it's not something that's not doable, right? People can.
Information and learn. It's very easy. Yeah, everything is very easy. Just the zeal, right? Zeal, right? Remember, like I said, I didn't have the zeal to learn, so I didn't learn it, right? Gotcha. But if you have the zeal, nothing is those things are not difficult to learn.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Sounds good. So what do you see your career, I mean, your business career, or your actual business future, after COVID-19? What do you think will happen?
Okay, when this thing is over, and let's assume that we are not going to be isolated from each other, then I'm gonna be joining a lot of a lot of business organizations, network, so that I can get more customers. Okay. And then I'll have some team in Ghana, get some people who are trustworthy in Ghana to train them and let them deal with that. So I see some positive things coming out after this COVID-19 thing, but just one step at a time. Yeah.
Okay. So what are some mistakes or some trial and errors that you have come across in your career, in this field, that you feel would be worth sharing for people that want to enter some kind of career that's similar to yours?
Okay. One error that I made is when I was in school, college, right? I dodged some classes. Yeah. I thought they were hard, so I dodged them. Okay. But later on, I had to learn it after school. Yeah. One of them was advanced data structure. I took the basic one, and then I skipped the other one, and I took some easy class. Right. Easy. Yeah, that time. I wish I've taken all that class, but yeah, because you can't dodge them. You're gonna meet them.
You're gonna meet them.
You're gonna meet them, whether you like it or not. You have to meet them, right? And then another, I don't know whether it's a mistake or another thing is I started off as a consultant, right? Okay. So I normally don't stay at one place for a long time. I don't know whether maybe it is not a mistake. Maybe it is a good thing.
That's a good thing. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a good thing. Because now I know a lot about different industries, right? If I had stayed at my old job, maybe I'll be bored, like sitting by the desk somewhere with so I don't know what I say. So maybe.
That's true.
Yeah.
It's a good thing if you have the entrepreneur spirit where you want to establish something on your own. Yeah. But if you're like the type of person that you prefer the 8 to 5 type of lifestyle, you may want to stay.
Yeah. And another mistake is I try to do everything because I thought, understand the business side and the technical side. I will do everything by myself. That's a bad. It's a bad mistake. It's a terrible mistake. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe I could have found like somebody who is more focused to deal with the business side of my business, and then I'll focus on the technical side. If I had done that, maybe I could have gone higher than where I am right now, but I didn't do that. So maybe that's a mistake. Maybe somebody can learn from it. Don't try to do everything by yourself because you can't.
That's a good point. So, from my understanding, correct me if I'm wrong, a lot of times people I've worked with in other companies that are in your department, in the past, they used to be isolated from they used to be in their own place and they were just doing their own thing. Nobody knew what they were doing. They would just, complete their work and then send it to managers. Managers would take the data and then interpret it and then make a decision. But now you're describing more of a holistic perspective where they're communicating with the customers, they're talking to managers, they're like everywhere, bouncing around. Do you feel that, that changing the settings that used to be in was good or bad? Do you think the old way was better or the new way is better for you guys?
Okay, I like the new way, right? I like the new way. And one thing, maybe you are describing the old waterfall software development method.
The model.
Yeah. So where there's a business analyst who go get all the requirement, they write all the requirement document, or the senior architect to develop the architecture design document, and then they give it to you, and then you develop it, right?
Right.
And then you give it to the testers. Testers will test it. That is good. If there's a problem, then you fix it. Right now, it is not like that.
Right.
Right. Right now, even in the core software development, hardcore, we have this iterative method, right, where a group of people meet, like within maybe every sprint, like 3 weeks, the whole group meet, right?
Right.
A group of maybe 10 people meet, discuss what happened, what is going to be done this sprint, right? And then the mistakes and all that. So right now, everything is changing. It's not like you sit there and do something now. It's communicative, right? It's a teamwork kind of thing. And there's no long cycle anymore. The longest is maybe 3 weeks or 1 month. Every month, you have to develop something and deliver, and then build on it the next month or something like that. And involve a lot of people from different. Sometimes the business will come in, right? Because they have tested the model that you develop. Maybe they saw something that needs to be changed. They will be in, and then you have to back and forth and agree on something.
Right.
So now it is different. And one good thing is you learn how to communicate, right? Because you have to convince somebody to take your ideas, as nobody's going to recognize you. Nobody's going to know that you even exist, right? So I like this one.
Okay, that sounds pretty good. I think you described the system very well. Yeah. So if anyone of the people that are on the platform are interested in reaching out to you to learn more about your business, or maybe take some of the questions were more around coding. Maybe they want to learn how to code.
Yeah.
How should they do that? Do you have a website? Do you have a phone number or an email address that you want to share?
Okay, yeah. My website is JAGYEN.com. Jargon Analytics, right? My phone number is, I have a phone number. I don't know whether I should give it right now. It's 703-659-3521. 703-659-3521. And then my business is on Facebook and LinkedIn too. So I'm always available. Right now, we are all bored in the house. So you can shoot me any message. I will answer your stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah. This is the time for creativity, for networking, for getting jobs done.
Learn a new thing at least, so that you can remember that, during this lockdown, I learned something new or whatever. Yeah.
That's a good point. New skills, right?
Yeah.
New skills. So we're almost out of time, but Jacob, we want to know, when you have a data analyst project, what are the steps that you normally take? Like, what do you know? What is your process?
Okay, my process is. Let me use example of the project I'm working on right now. Right.
Okay.
I'm working with this global company. They manufacture tractors for farmers, right?
Okay.
And what they want to do is, for example, farmers buy these tractors. They may have some issues with the farmers. The farmers will enter some ticket, right? Okay. And the engineers will look at the ticket and see if the ticket is a valid issue, right?
Okay.
So that they can create like a claim on it, because every tractor has a claim, right?
Okay.
Claim on it. And then the company will repair for free or at a reduced cost, right? So what we are trying to do is, on this project, see what I've done? I've described the requirement to you.
Right.
So the first step is understand the requirement.
Okay.
What they are trying to do. That's the first step. Without it, you can do any fancy thing. If it doesn't satisfy the requirement, it's just useless, right?
Right.
The first thing is understand the requirement. Right? So what it does, to understand the requirement, you have to meet with a lot of people, with engineers, with directors, with everybody who is involved, or the project owner. Maybe there will be 1 or 2 project owners, and they will be the contact point, and then they will direct you to people that understand it, right? So, and the second point is understand or get together with all the people involved, because every project, this is a global company. You have a lot of people involved, people who own the data. There's somebody there who owns the data. You don't own it. Right. Yeah. So somebody who owns the data, they understand the data very well. They understand which tables has this column, which data source has this, right? Because you need to understand every source, right?
Right.
So understand the team and all the parts involved, right? So first, understand the requirement, what they want to achieve, meet the team, understand the process involved. And then the next step is, while going through all this process, you try to get some, as you get to understand the businesses and the requirement, you have your own questions. You ask a lot of questions, right? And then you develop what you think is what needs to be done.
Okay.
And then you meet a team and then you discuss, okay, this is what I think it should be, right? This is how I think we should start it, right? Sometimes they will come and go, we need it to start this way, right? But you are doing it. You have to tell them that maybe you can't start this way because I'm doing it. So let's start this way. Sometimes you could compromise it. And then you can, So get the requirement, understand the business processes, the data and everything, and then you go from there. That is where you write the technical specifications, right? Mm-hmm. Technical specification based on the business rules. Mm-hmm. And then start the development. The development is not like you're gonna sit down and develop for 1 month and come back. This one-on-one thing. You work on something, you show them, this is what I've done. What do you think? Right? You demo to them. And then they come back, okay, we like it. Let's move to the next step.
Okay.
And so by the time you finish the whole process, everybody involved will understand the whole thing. So now what happens is there's no need for you to go and do any training anymore, or the training will be just a short time because everybody involved understand the whole thing, right? And then maybe they will go and teach, or they will go and explain to other people involved who are going to use it. Or maybe you spend a week to train other people. So yeah, so that normally there's a variation of all this, but I just made it simplified. Maybe I made some steps. Okay. But there's none like, it's not like the olden days where we have this waterfall. Oh, get a requirement, develop, design, test, deploy. Now it's from that. Right. Yeah. So
makes sense. Do you use any special software while you're working, or?
When you say software, okay. We have a software for managing the business management side. When you say software, what do you mean by software? Like enterprise software, like what?
Yeah, just say, every industry, they have specific software that they typically use to communicate to customers or to manage.
Okay. We have Skype. We have something called Slack. We have Microsoft Team right now.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of, and then we have Microsoft. What's the other one? Silverlight or something. A lot of those.
Okay.
Right? Most of our meetings are done on Skype, and now we have Microsoft Team.
How about your calculations? You do use any?
You're talking about application for development?
Yeah, for development.
For this project, I'm using R. Okay. R is like a data science software. It's like, let me say it. I say like a data analytics software. It used to be like SAS. It used to be called something called SAS, or SAS.
Yes, I
for
heard
data
that.
analytics and models. Now we have R that we are using, and then I'm also using Amazon Aurora database, right? And then Amazon S3. And then the data is coming from Salesforce, Oracle.
Okay.
The ETL is based on data stage and some other stuff. So yeah.
Okay.
And then we have Tableau as the presentation layer. So this project has multiple layers here to it.
Okay. As you're talking, the more I think, I feel like what you do also intertwine with project management.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
It's like you almost have to also have that kind of skill set.
Oh yeah.
The work.
Yeah, because every project, one thing about the data space is, right, when you are on a project, normally you may be the only technical person. Mm-hmm. Everybody on there may be a business person, right?
Right.
So you own the project, even though there's the project owner out there who's sponsoring it. you own every part of it. You have to make sure that everybody on the team play his or her role. So you have to manage a project. You have to tell them that, okay, it's going to take me this many weeks to finish this part.
Right.
You agree on it. Maybe there could be changes in the future, right. But you are like a project manager. And then you are a developer, project manager, you are a tester, you are a business person, everything combined. Right.
Got it. So, Jacob, do you have any books to recommend to our viewers and myself in terms of we want to read more about data analytics? What kind of books do you feel
let me see. Let me go and have to go to my library and bring you some. Yeah.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, let me see. But because there's this book. There's this book. Okay. There's this book that I recommend. That is for R programming, right? Okay. They call it R in Action.
R in Action.
Yeah. And then let me see. That's R. And then right now, right, if you want to learn anything, I will just suggest that you go online, go to Microsoft.com, right? Download the software for free. Microsoft develop SQL for free. And then you go to Google, and a lot of people who are offering like programming for free, and then you learn from there. Because the books, the reason why right now, if I show you, I used to have a lot of books over there, but most of them are out of date, right? Yeah. So I have about more than 100 books.
That's a good point.
Yeah, whole bookshelf there. They are all out of date. So I will not. Now I don't buy books anymore. I go online and learn stuff there, because don't waste your time on books.
Going along with that.
For the soft skills, yes, but the programming part, getting a book, maybe a book that was written in 2009, maybe, but since I don't buy books, I don't have all the books that I would tell you is gonna be like something that is about 4 years old. Yeah, so yeah.
Are you required to do some kind of certification every year or every couple of years?
Yes. I remember when I was at General Electric, you're required to get some certifications. Okay. Even before you touch their product, touch their team. Yeah.
I see.
And then, but right now, most businesses are like, they are pragmatic, right? They don't care about certification. They care about you being able to do it, right? So almost every business has something called university. So for example, you have Microsoft University, Oracle University, all that.
They have
like a school. Where you go, there's free courses that you learn. You have to learn. So there's like a plan for you. By the end of every year, you have to learn this. And that is going to go against you or for you in your promotion or your bonuses. So
that's a good point.
Yeah.
Every business has a university.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, so
it's an ongoing learning, right?
Yeah, you have to learn. Yeah, that's one thing about computer side. Like, you are going to be expired within 6 months, right? If you don't learn anything new, you're going to be expired, right? Before, it used to be that if I know how to write HTML and whatever, now nobody cares, because the machine write HTML, right?
Everybody can write HTML.
Yeah. Now so you have to learn something new every time.
I love that advice very much.
Yeah.
So we're out of time.
That time. Okay.
Yeah, the time flew. It's like
that was very fast. Yeah.
Very fast. But I want you to close by giving us a few advice for our viewers and just summarize everything into things that you think that we should remember and take away from our meeting today.
Okay, what I would take is if we're interested in data analytics, right, or anything with data science, it is not difficult to learn, right? It is very easy and very enticing field, because data is gold now. Every business is trying to store data. So the opportunity for you to learn something new, to do something fun, is always going to be there, right? So if we're interested, don't let anybody discourage you. It is a nice, interesting field, because you are going to have fun. Yeah. Sometimes you may be disappointed one day because you're going to be on some crazy project But that is, it doesn't matter which field you are. Yeah.
Right.
But it's very interesting. So if you want to learn it, just you can get in contact with me, or you can go online. I can give you, even if I may not be able to help you, I will tell you, I will guide you on the right track for you to start. Right. So it's very interesting, right? It is something that requires a lot of soft skills, right? Presentation. For me, I used to hate presentation. So I had to join Toastmasters to learn how to present. Yeah. Toastmasters to learn presentation skills because I had no choice. Yeah. So it involved a lot of soft skills. So it doesn't matter which field you are in. If it could be that you study like maybe business or maybe government, whatever in college, but those skills are very useful in data science, right?
Right.
So it doesn't matter which field you are in, you can still branch and do something. The most important thing is the desire to learn, right? So don't get discouraged. It's a good field. You can go into it, and then you are going to have a lot of fun. And also don't try, yeah. Also don't, you can't be working for somebody for the rest of your life, right? If you have some ideas for starting a business, just start it. Do something. Yeah. There's no harm in trying. Just, I started my business like how many 1,000 years ago? I'm still in there, even though I haven't made a lot of money, but I'm still in there. And I know I'm gonna make it, right? Yeah. Right now that I know what I did wrong. So yeah, just learn something new. Always just be a lifelong learner, and then you are going to be fine.
Awesome. Thank you for that advice, Jacob. Yeah. Thank you so much for your time. We're running out. I don't want life to cut us off, but thank you, everybody. We'll be in touch. If you want to get in touch with Jacob, he gave his email, his website. You have his contact info on the bottom too. Just check it out. So, Atlanta.
Thank you. Nice to meet you all. Bye.
All right. Bye.
Bye. Bye.